Hey, Tyler, guess what number I'm thinking of?
What number are you thinking of? 69?
69,
Yeah.
dude! That's right! Alright, Tim, you can go ahead and continue the introduction.
I guess that's our introduction to the TNT podcast, episode 69, everybody.
Hey.
For those men of culture who
Finger
watched
guns!
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, you'll get exactly why that happened.
Oh, that's why I don't get it at all. Huh.
Oh, you should watch that movie.
Yeah, listeners, you should also watch that movie.
That's a really good movie.
We are back with, sorry for missing a week. Tyler did run into being too busy with his moves, and we couldn't rope Luigi in because he's doing tax stuff, so we just said screw it and skipped a week. Luckily, though, we have enough news to cover both weeks, and hopefully we can race through it all to get to our topic.
Oh man, a lot happened in the last 2 weeks.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
we faced some tragedies. Definitely a couple.
We weren't even going to talk about. We were going to talk about a couple. We weren't going to talk about any of the actual
No,
people
I
deaths.
see
We were
all
talking about more like
this.
video games and career deaths here.
Tragedies. I see nothing but sadness in this list. Except for
Actually, I
Overwatch is whatever.
realize if you look at this list of stuff we're going to talk about tonight with a certain lens, all of this is terrible news. Especially everything inside the Weeeb shit this week. Holy crap! All right, let's
start it.
Let's start with Tyler's nap. So, originally this section was super boring because going into last week, Wizards had the two lamest announcements I've ever seen. It's where they confirmed the existence of two sets that we like 99% knew were already going to happen.
No, so for those at home, this is exactly what I put in the show notes. MTG sets we knew existed do in fact exist.
And they confirmed that Core Set 2020 and then Commander 2019 were both going to happen.
Wow.
The Core Set did really well, and they said how important they are, and given that Commander's like product of the year for them, no one is surprised.
I wish I had that wow sound effect.
Wow.
Not like the Owen Wilson one, the anime like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to set up a soundboard for tonight's episode because it's episode 69. I was going to... God damn it. All right, whatever. We'll get... Episode 169, I'll do it.
Missed
you heard it here
opportunities,
first.
man.
But, as Freeman said, thankfully there was Magic news that came out in the last week. We're just going to go through it real quick because, honestly, we know so little, and we're not even doing a card-by-card analysis thing.
All two of them.
Yeah. So, two major things. One, Freeman finally got the product he and millions of other Modern players have been asking for years. Wizards of the Coast is finally printing a set of cards in a draftable set that is skipping Standard and going straight into Modern and further on. I know we talked about this before, I think, but basically every supplemental product that comes out from Wizards of the Coast, starter decks, commander decks, Conspiracy, Battle Bond, all of these are only legal in Legacy, Vintage, and everything that uses the Legacy list and back, like Commander, anything where all sets are legal. For the first time, but every other set that's a standard legal set is the only way up until now that cards would enter the standard pool and the modern pool of cards. For the first time, Wizards has created what they're calling Modern Horizons, which is a set that is going into Modern, Legacy, Vintage, so on and so forth, and not Standard. So they can finally do what they've been sort of trying to do. Freeman, you get what I mean, like Alpine Moon, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Assassin's Trophy.
For the last 2 years or so, they've been trying to seed in some cards to help fix some of the issues with Modern. The problem is you can't put anything too strong in because it breaks Standard.
Seed cards in standard legal sets.
Yeah, in standard legal sets. Generally, Wizards has said that, and I think this is their current tune, is that pretty much 8th edition was where their design philosophy really shifted into what we see today in Magic. Everything pre-8th edition, you have some stuff like black having ritual effects and all that other nonsense. That's old Wizards design. That's where you see predominantly in like Vintage, Legacy, and Summon Commander. 8th edition after, Wizards has been slowly tuning into what we see as standard today. And they don't want to break that standard. We're in a really good standard, and they can't risk putting like cards that might be too good or might be too weird into Standard. And now they're going to print them directly to Modern.
But at the same time, Modern needs not help, but
oh no, Modern needs some fucking help. So I saw the top 8 from last weekend, and it's all decks except for one that generally did not interact with each other. So everyone said, "Oh, it was just a speedboat contest this weekend. It was who could win before your opponent because none of them interacted with each other."
Yeah, Modern has been heading in this direction where not interacting with your opponent is the best way to win. It's just doing what you do faster. And that gets to a point where it's really not interactive. There's not a lot happening. It's just,
we're at the point where
wins the dice roll and goes first?
we've reached the point where 1-mana removal spells are too slow for Modern. I heard that said this week, and I'm like, oh my god, something needs to get fixed, like right now. And I don't know if Horizon's going to do it. So this is their first chance to print stuff directly in. From what we've seen so far, they're printing stuff that looks interesting, and what I'm hoping is they print in an archetype, something that hasn't been done in Modern because it requires some kind of new like ability or keyword. I'm hoping that's what they do that, as opposed to just printing stuff that directly buffs existing stuff. Like they show off this Planeswalker who feels like she was designed for my favorite deck, black-white tokens. It's not a busted card. It's kind of a different approach to what some other cards have done in the past in that kind of slot. And I'm hoping we see things like that, alternatives, but not like straight upgrades like, hey, fucking Dredge is broken now. Like, I don't want to see that happen.
I think, but considering this was designed for Modern, and the landscape hasn't changed that much in the past year or two, like, obviously things have happened, like the Phoenix deck has popped up, Dredge got good with Creeping Chill, but graveyard decks were always good in Modern. Like, it's not like the archetype, like the specific decks have changed, but the general theme hasn't changed as much. And based on the 2 cards, like I said earlier, we're not going to go card by card on the 2 new cards that they spoiled, because the spoilers for this set isn't happening until May after the next standard legal set. This was just the hype.
We still have to get spoilers for War of the Spark.
But based on these 2 cards, this is definitely a set that they seem to have zeroed in on this power level of, this is too good for standard, but this isn't going to break Modern in half. Every card in this set is apparently going to either be a brand new card or a reprint of a card that is not currently legal in Modern and will be made legal in Modern. This is things in Legacy, like, not confirmed or anything and probably won't be, but things like Force of Will, Brainstorm, Alt Days.
To be more realistic, I'm hoping we get like Baleful Strix. Like, that's the peak of power I expect to possibly get reprinted into Modern.
I actually, yes, go ahead.
Go for it, Tyler.
So, like, they're reprinting all these cards with all these different rulings, right? So is that how that's working?
Well, it's like, these are cards that weren't previously legal in the format.
Right.
Instead of just saying
be augmented to
No. They're not getting reworded. The thing is, a lot of these cards were either printed before the cutoff for Modern, and they were printed in the supplemental products that don't go into Modern, the ones that go straight into like Vintage, Legacy, and Commander. So they're selecting from those pool, and those cards, a lot of them are fine for Modern. There's not an issue with them being there. They just didn't fit the release criteria, which was being standard after the year like 2001 or so. I forget what the actual cutoff is.
Gotcha.
But so some of these cards are actually a decent power level and could fit in. Like I'm hoping Shardless Agent goes in because he's not that much stronger than too much else in the format. Yeah, Blood Raid's already a better version. It's just a different color.
Yeah.
The point is, this is going to be a shakeup. It may not be a straight up like power boost to the format, but we might just see new archetypes that didn't exist before. I'm hoping for that.
Another great way to look at this, Tyler, is normally when a set comes out in Standard, if you look at what successfully gets played in Modern at a higher level, on average, someone actually just posted this on Reddit a few hours ago. They did the math.
2 cards?
It's an average of 6 cards see any play in Modern for a standard set of about 250 cards. This is a set of 250 cards that are all being new or reprints from older formats directly into Modern.
This is also a draft format, so there's going to be some chaff cards in here.
Of course, there will be things that don't see direct play.
There are 250 winners, but expect 60 to 70 cards that might like have potential.
If nothing else, people are going to take this thing and strip everything out of it and try to make it work in Modern, and Modern should be brewing like crazy for like a year after this set comes out.
Just so we can get moving, my final point on this is I'm willing to throw down money on this bet. I am willing to bet that they're going to put some main deckable, super powerful graveyard hate in this set.
I don't think I'd take that bet because I agree with you.
All right, good. Apparently, it's not.
I'd actually take the Baleful Strix bet more because I actually think Baleful Strix doesn't do anything for Modern because it only helps combo decks protect against. It only shuts down fair decks who already suck in Modern.
Yeah.
Like
just want
Jund
it for
already
Tezzerator.
does
That's the only
nothing.
reason I
Well,
want it.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, another really quick Magic thing. Magic is apparently going to be testing at a big tournament at the Magic Fest Grand Prix in London, or Pro Tour. I don't know what it's fucking called anymore. In London at a big tournament, they are going to be testing out a new mulligan rule. The way mulligans work right now is you draw a hand of 7 cards at the start of a game, and if you don't like that hand, you put it back, shuffle your deck, and draw 6, and keep doing that until you like a hand, and then you scry, which is look at the top card of your library, and if you like it, you leave it there, and if you don't like it, you put it on the bottom, and that's your mulligan. The new rule, which people are going kind of nuts for, is keep drawing 7 cards until you reach a hand you like. Then you get rid of how many cards for times you have mulliganed. So if you mulligan twice, which under the current rules would take you down to 5 cards, now you still draw up to 7, and you just choose 2 cards to put on the bottom from that hand.
It lets you craft the hand you want.
Yes, so people are freaking out because in Standard, this means almost nothing. But in Modern and Legacy and Vintage, this could potentially mean combo decks get even better because you are now digging even harder for these combos and sculpting your hand just as easily each time. It's kind of busted, but people are ever since this announcement, it seems like people are starting to test and try to find the numbers on this. There's Channel Fireball's done at least one video about like what it would be like. So yeah, we'll have to see how it is. Like Wizards has said multiple times, this is a test. Funny enough, there was an article they put out apparently years ago, someone on Reddit pointed out, where they actually talked about when they changed the mulligan rule last time, they had tested this rule and said it made combo decks too good. But now apparently they're trying it out as a public test.
So I remember when they announced they had first done it was the Scry mulligan rule.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Vancouver. I think that's the
yeah, because the Paris one was the last one, so this is the Vancouver mulligan.
Yeah, I remember the first weekend they did it, and it didn't change anything too much. My concern is if they thought the Scry was too good for combo decks, looking at 7 and picking 5 sounds even worse, as opposed to looking at 1 and choosing this or a random other card. Like, I don't know. It seems like a big jump.
Yeah. But we'll have to see. It's just an interesting announcement and change. But we can go to other stuff because we got to move along. We can get to the Overdank.
Yeah, this is a big week for Overdank announcements.
Big old week.
So before our last scheduled podcast recording, they were doing some teasers for something. It looked like some Talon agent shit on their Twitter. And I think it was the night we were supposed to do the podcast. They announced the new hero, Batiste, who is a hybrid DPS healer, which is interesting because this is now our second support that does something else. So I don't think either of you guys have the PTR installed, but I tried him out. He's a lot of fun. So he's got, and I'll just go really quick. He's got this what's the term I'm looking for? Burst action hit scan rifle.
Fire,
so it's 3 shots hit scan, which means we have our first hit scan healer, which is great for dealing with Farah. She's now officially nerfed out of the game. And his skills are very interesting. So he fires, imagine a grenade launcher, but instead of grenades, he fires like a healing blast.
It is kind of like a grenade launcher, but it shoots healing, and it's all in the same gun. Like the top of his gun is the burst fire rifle, while the under barrel shoots the grenades.
So that's your healing component. Both of them have different ammo pools, but if either needs to reload, you got to reload the whole thing.
His
in addition,
bread and butter though, his E.
So is it his E the field?
Yeah.
So I read this.
Tyler,
and
you're buzzing a little bit.
Yeah, you're fading.
Whoops.
So
how about now?
You're better.
That's a little better, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I read it and I'm like, is this his ultimate? No, it's his E ability. What the fuck is this shit? So what he does is he throws down this drone, and it creates this area, which is a circle that's maybe like 3 to 4 roadhogs wide, is the best way I'll describe that. And while you're in that field, your health cannot drop below 40 hit points.
What?
It's called the immortality field.
Oh no, it's a certain percentage. I think it's a 5th.
Oh, I thought it was just 40. I guess maybe since so many characters have 200 health, it comes up to 40.
Yeah, because the heavy, the big boys, like anyone at like 500,
they
stay at like 100. Yeah.
That seems busted.
So it seems busted until you realize the drone that creates the field has what, like 100 health and can be destroyed.
Yeah, it can be destroyed.
Also,
easily.
you can still get knocked out of the field. So I was watching some videos of it. It's decently balanced. Also, the field doesn't stick around that long. I think maybe it's like what, like 8 seconds.
Yeah, but I feel like it's trying to capture the point.
So here's it's. I mean, the thing is that the drone is really easy to destroy if you focus it.
Yeah.
It's
But,
really
like,
not that hard.
Well, I didn't know if it was just like you plop it down
yeah. If you
there's an actual
coordinate
device
with it though, you could like actually do some good stuff with it.
Yeah, like throw it down, have McCree ult, because then he can't get killed while he's doing his huge ass. It's high noon wind up.
Which
So
got buffed.
it got buffed. Like it can.
significantly.
It's really good now. It used to be a joke ult. Now it's actually really threatening.
You can kill, I think, 200. What?
Let me just finish Batiste, and then we'll move on to the other change.
Yeah.
They changed a lot of the heroes. But Batiste, so he can't heal himself with his grenade. He has a shift ability, which is just like a quick AoE heal. So he's got very little sustain for himself. So it is risky. It's not like the other healers where generally all of them have a way to heal themselves up pretty fast. He's kind of limited in that regard. His ult creates this, it's like a square in front of him. And anything that passes through that square from your team is amplified. So if someone does healing through that square, it's amplified. If someone does damage to that square, it's amplified. So he's really synergistic, and as a support, it's what he's supposed to do. He throws down, and then someone else can ult, and suddenly they're at like, I think it's like
Not
75% additional damage.
Beams don't work.
Beams don't. It's only projectiles.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you're familiar with the channel. My buddy and I watched your Overwatch.
So I don't watch your Overwatch anymore, just because one of the guys who works with him is kind of an asshole, and he's really annoying, so I don't want to hear his shit anymore. So I watched Blame the Controller, because he says literally the same stuff, but like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, so I guess either or. They go into pretty like good depth on what the wall can and cannot do, because it's very specific.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, was it his field can be hacked also by Sombra? I wanted to bring.
Oh, you're talking about the drone?
Yeah, the drone. Going back to the drone for a second, yeah, that can be hacked.
Yeah, Sombra's a really good counter for this guy. So
hack the planet.
One thing that I thought is kind of iffy about him is, in addition to all those abilities, which sound like a complete character, they also gave him the ability to do this crouch jump. So he can crouch and it charges up this meter, and then next time he jumps, he gets a boosted jump. So it gives him a lot of mobility. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel like it was kind of unnecessary given what kind of character he is. I think they're trying to get him to compete with the DPSs, but still be a healer, given that his healing output is not that high.
It's not. It really isn't.
No,
I'll be honest. This character is very underwhelming for me.
So I'm half bound for one reason in particular. I have a lot of games where someone will pick a Mercy, and you don't need additional heavy healing. But my team's also ass and can't do damage, which means I'm stuck playing Zenyatta because he's the only range damage dealer who's a healer. So, I mean, you could argue Anna's similar, but Anna has problems of like no mobility, and
right.
So he kind of covers that gap of being closer to the DPS side, less healing. I'm excited to play.
Where's DPS, bro?
So I'm talking specifically. So no. You
Yeah,
you have a point. Moore is actually probably like the best damage dealer as a healer. But point is, when you need to be ranged, you're having trouble dealing with a point. You're trying to like deal with all these fucking shields, and you just need to fire away. Right now, I'm stuck on Zen, and Zen is just he
right.
folds
He's not a hit
the
scan.
flankers.
Like,
he's also not
good.
hit scan.
Yeah, like the Baptiste has a good chance of like like a Pharah pops into the air or something needs a hit scan. Like he's there.
Yeah, it means that your other roles can also deal with the Pharah Mercy combo, so you're not stuck like begging a DPS to swap. You can still be a healer and help deal with a problematic combination.
Yeah,
which is good. I think he's going to be fine for the game. They've already started reworking certain aspects of him, but in addition to this, they've decided they're going to rework a ton of, well, not rework, but modify a lot of the other characters in the game. So first, you had brought up the High Noon rework.
Yeah.
So
let's see here.
So it used to be that when you activate High Noon, it starts targeting everyone on screen, and it was the same amount of time till it actually could deal 100% damage to that character. They've adjusted it now. It's based on how much hit points of damage you would need. So if someone's low, you can snipe them. It means that it takes longer to target tanks. It takes shorter to target like your squishy DPSs. It's a lot more threatening. I think I've read somewhere that it works through barriers now.
Oh God.
Which is insane.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the damage, right? So it went from doing 275 damage to 550 after 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's a lot faster to charge up now.
Literally half that time, it takes like about a second and some change. If you're a squishy, you're dead. So it's almost like if he looks at you, you're dead. And that's gonna be interesting.
In the meantime, they unnerfed Pharah's rocket launcher. They changed it so that way it was more skill based. You had to hit people with it, and there wasn't that much slash. I think they're bringing back the splash damage because they realized they like unnecessarily nerfed Pharah, and now they're introducing a new counter, so they have to do something about that.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Orisa. I think this is one of the biggest.
Oh, I was so happy to hear this one.
Dude, movement speed penalty is up from 50 or reduced from 50% to 30. You can actually move around.
Orisa's big problem is she's already slow as fuck, and the second you start firing, it feels like you just can't move. So if you need to get away from something, you're no longer dealing damage. Now she's a fucking speed demon when she's firing, and I'm so excited because I love playing Orisa.
Yeah, she's good, and like especially it hurts because one of her biggest, weaknesses is people getting around her shield. Now I feel like you can at least deal with it a little bit better, right? Than like literally moving a tank.
Yeah, they've worked a lot to get her to help deal when someone's up close. If someone walks through your shield, you're fucked because you weren't a hit scan. Your shit moved so slow, and you couldn't move at all. So once someone got close, you were dead. Now I think her rate of fire is the same, but the spread is a lot tighter, so you can generally hit something close to you a lot better now. Now she has the mobility. I'm hoping we see more play from her. I know Junkrat got buffed.
Yeah, Junkrat got his bombs up a little bit. Soldier can target a Riptire with his.
Oh my god! So they've been constantly making this tweak where the visor means that you just can't target certain things. Now they're trying to make it so it can just target anything. You just need to be like generally aiming at it.
Honestly, I feel like that's how it should always be.
It should be that anything can be targetable, and you should really be like directing the auto aim.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's gonna be.
Yeah. All right. We've gone through most of the
big stuff.
Yeah, the big stuff. But the last thing, and I wanted to bring this up, is they discussed the idea that they've already have LFG for Overwatch, so you can specify which roles you want to play and where you want to go. But it's not a hard requirement. You can queue up and say, I want to play DPS, then pick tank, because why not? But they're now setting up very specific where you queue for one of the three roles, DPS, tank, or healer in a 2-2-2 fashion. And Papa Jeff I forget who interviewed him this week, but the point is he went on record saying he was conflicted about even letting this feature get added, mostly because part of the freedom of Overwatch is to change up your team as you need. If you see that like the healer's not doing so hot and someone else wants to play healer, you can change your roles. If you find that you need a third healer or something, you can't really do that in this configuration. One of the biggest problems he saw, and this is kind of him directly addressing the fact that Goats is ruining Overwatch, is that Brigitte is in an odd place where they need to nerf her to fix Goats, but if they implement 2-2-2, they can't nerf her because she's already a shitty healer if you only have her as the backup. Her healing output is getting lower by the nerf. And at this point, Jeff has acknowledged picking her as your second healer is not that great right now, and they don't want to make it worse. So they're in kind of a sticky situation if they implement 2-2-2. So we'll see what happens. It sounds like they're going to do it anyway. Brigitte is going to get nerfed, and then I guarantee you she's going to get reworked next year if these events all occur. Tim, time to learn how to play another character.
Yep.
Well, or I go with my current solution, which is don't play Overwatch, play
There's
Siege.
29 other characters, and they're all free.
Or I could just play Siege.
Come on, man.
Where I already played, where I found the broken healer in
no
Siege
honor.
Right.
Dude, I just play Finka and Siege, and I'm already like, yeah, I'm back to being the broken healer, baby.
All right, so let's get the last of the relatively decent video game news out of the way, and then we'll get to the not so decent video game news. So let's talk about Nintendo real quick.
No.
So this time last week, we had already known that my boy, Reggie,
your boy, nobody else.
Yes, my boy.
What do you
I was that.
mean?
I was that
boy
kid.
Too.
Our boy. I was that kid who insisted that the GameCube was the superior console in that generation. Reggie was my boy. Anyway, Reggie announced that he's stepping down as president of Nintendo of America, and in true meme fashion, he announced that Doug Bowser is going to take over. So
Good on him.
Immediately Bowser memes incoming. But Doug Bowser has been with marketing for Nintendo for forever. He's the guy who came up with the Switch Snap campaign, which has yeah, right.
You guys remember me saying that on the fucking that was on the podcast where I was like, "Fuck this noise. This noise is never gonna die. This sucks."
Oh, I love that sound. It's so satisfying. But point is, this entire week was just a giant tribute to Reggie. He even put out a video just talking about his feelings about working with Nintendo, and you can tell that he's not like happy that he's leaving. He's happy that he's retiring, but he's not happy that he's leaving Nintendo. And you can feel it. He cared about his work, and I have no doubt that Bowser is gonna run the scene perfectly fine. But that said, Reggie was like prime meme material, and I'm upset we're losing that.
Well, Reggie leaned into it, and even if Bowser does too, it's like then everyone's just gonna be like, "But Reggie did it first." No, honestly, I've never been a huge Nintendo guy. Like I've said, my only Nintendo console was the N64, but I can respect definitely like the meme hustle.
The meme hustle,
and just like yeah, it sucks. I mean, he is the one, like, I don't know Nintendo, and I always recognized Reggie's name because everybody knew who Reggie was. He was the big boy.
Super honest, super fun. My last statement is, Reggie, if you ever decide to come out of retirement to do anything, I'll let you know, my body is ready.
Oh, God.
My body is ready.
My body is ready. All right. But there's someone else in Nintendo whose body isn't ready.
Oh.
The man who literally works himself to death. The man who the internet keeps telling him to just go to sleep. And this is Sakurai, who, despite the fact that he's finished like releasing Smash Bros. Ultimate, is now working so hard on these DLC characters that he started working with an IV dripping because he's getting so sick while working on these games.
Yeah.
Sakurai.
What a man.
This man
needs to go to
sleep,
sleep, though. He needs
to go the fuck to sleep. I don't know how he keeps doing
He
this.
needs a nap, and he needs to have some milk, bro.
Ever since Melee, he's talked about how he can't physically live working on these games, and then every time Nintendo's like, "Okay, we're gonna make another one. Do you want to work on?" it? He's like, "No one else can work on this. This is mine."
Damn. See, that's just wild.
That's dedication. Apparently, he's having some communication problems with Atlas regarding Joker, the first DLC character. So instead of letting anyone else in his team deal, he's like, "No, I will resolve every issue myself." And that's why we're in this snare in the first place.
If I was Atlas, I'd be like, "Bro, here, just take the character, all right?"
Dude, fuck off. Come on, take a nap.
Just, if we give you this, will you take a nap? I bet you that's the deal. I bet you.
And Sakurai says no, and he puts in the second IV drip and says, "I'll get back to work."
I'll get back to work. Listen, we'll give you this character. Just take a nap. No.
Maybe they're stalling giving him all the stuff. Like, if we give this all to him right now, he's just gonna work on this all night. Like, we gotta trickle it out to him over the week.
Right. If we don't give him work, he won't work.
That's where you're wrong,
that's
kiddo.
That's just fucked up, though.
Yeah.
Like, I won't stop so hard that I have an IV drip in.
That is crazy.
Man, fuck Smash.
Dedicated. This is Japanese work ethic right here.
Yeah, but fuck Smash, though.
No, it's good. Moving
that was so
on.
like,
yeah.
That was like, but no, it's good.
No, it's good.
Look, I love Smash, but like I'm also conflicted about making Sakurai work this hard just to make Smash great.
The dedication you could tell is there. I feel bad about like him making it.
You know, he wouldn't be so dedicated if Smash fans weren't some of the biggest dickheads.
That's what like I'm upset about. Like, people don't, like, consumers, they don't give a shit where their stuff comes from. They don't care that like little Chinese children make their phones.
All they care about
get it.
is Waluigi for Smash. That's all
they care about. Exactly. And that's
memes.
Messed up.
All they care about is memes.
All they care about is memes.
My message for Reggie was my body's ready. My message for Sakurai is, dude,
your body's not ready.
Your body.
And Sora for Smash, because your body's not ready.
Sora for Smash.
I want it to happen so bad.
God.
Moving on to the next one. So the last time you guys heard from us, no, don't spoil what I'm about to talk about. last podcast, Nintendo just had their yeah, they had their super disappointing Nintendo Direct, and it felt really light on meaty content. Like if you weren't a Fire Emblem fan, there was like not too much there. Maybe, or you know what, Legend of Zelda fans got something cool.
Yeah.
The point is, the two things that everyone wanted to see, Pokemon and Animal Crossing, were nowhere to be found. It seems like the Direct was just way too close to Pokemon Day, which is the official anniversary of the original release of Pokemon in Japan. So they saved a special announcement for Pokemon Day where they showed off the first footage of Generation 8, confirmed for Nintendo Switch. And these versions are Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield, and then the unannounced third version, Pokemon Gun, are all coming out for Nintendo Switch later this year.
Freeman, hold on. There's like 10 different memes out there. You can't just pick
Gun,
one out of
Pokemon
them.
Protect versus
Vest.
Pokemon Attack, Rising of the Pokemon Shield version.
Yeah.
Oh my god, really? I didn't see that one.
Pokemon Trebuchet. The list goes on.
Yes, it's been great for memes. I love this. On top of that, the biggest meme to come out of this is that the game is set in what looks like the UK.
Yeah.
So what the entire fan community has done, I talked to you guys about this a little bit on Sunday, is the female character is she's wearing a very Scottish looking outfit. So people in all these comments are giving her the thickest accent in the goddamn universe, to the point where I can't read the comics anymore because it's just that like convolutedly Scottish slang. And I'm loving every second of this, and I can already feel the disappointment of the community when she speaks plain English when the game comes out.
Wait, have they had voice acting?
No. I meant just like the text. Actually, no. The characters never actually talk. So
no.
Fuck! It's confirmed that she's Scottish as shit.
Dude, they can't add voice acting. They can't.
Yes, they can.
No way.
Oh no! I meant technically, yes. On a technical standpoint with the Switch, they could do voice acting. There's no way they're going to.
No.
If they do it, they'd have to do it like Breath of the Wild, where everybody else talks except for you.
Or they could go the Mario approach and pick one guy to voice everyone in the series.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh my god. My whole thing. So I am excited about Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
I am excited. Some of these starters are like whatever. But hey, man,
that's every gen. That's every gen.
My one biggest problem is I know that this game's gonna be about friendship, and I don't want it to be about friendship. I want it to be about crushing my opponent.
It's literally sword and shield, like.
Yeah, but it's gonna be about friendship, like all these other games. Like, no, I want another Gary. I want him to be like, smell you later, loser.
No, he's right. Everyone wants another, I guess Blue is his name in the game, but everyone wants another Gary. They want that asshole who just is like, hey, asshole, you just got out of Rock Tunnel. Let me fight you. Oh, smell you later, asshole. Like, we want this dude who feels good to beat up. We want, like, the villain from Gold and Silver who was just like, fuck you. I hate that your Pokemon are strong. Fight my little shit. And you beat him up. He's like, damn it, I thought stealing... Like, he was a good guy to beat up.
The
thief. And then you get to Gen 3 and your rival is just kind of like, they're stronger than you, but they're pretty friendly, but they disappear literally halfway through the game. And then Wally shows up, and I don't know, I liked Wally. Gen 4 rolls around, and your rival has ADHD and is your best friend.
Wow.
Barry was the beginning of a decline.
I don't know if I ever talked about this on the podcast, but like why I think Blue/Gary is one of the best villains in a video game is because like he literally challenges like not like just the player technically, but like gives them the will to continue, right? Like it's like, oh yeah, like you want to be the Pokemon master, right? Like you want to do all these things, you want to save the world, but like no, at the end of the day, when you see Gary on screen, like your blood starts boiling. You're like, oh my god, not this faggot again. Like,
you know what? I don't know how it goes in the later games, but it's also really funny when you don't fight Gary every time, and he's just like on the SSSN when he strolls out and he's like, I already talked to the captain. He's a big loser.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh my god, you're here. Oh my god, you're here. It's terrible. And then at the very end of the game, there's nothing more satisfying because he
beating him up.
He beating the shit out of him and then having his grandfather recognize you over him. That is the ultimate satisfaction.
Gary, you've been doing it wrong the whole time, you big idiot.
Nah, his text like, Blue, I came as soon as I heard you won, but you've already been defeated. It's like that's like his exact line. But that's the thing though. Like I'm started playing through Let's Go Pikachu because I need to get to the Safari Zone before the next gen comes out. But like I hate it. Like you feel just like you're stomping everything. And I want to remind everyone in Red and Blue, there's not a lot of dialogue when you go from city to city. You walk in, you go to the gym, and you know what the first thing there is? There's a dude who tells you, yo, champ in the making, here's Brock's weakness. And there's a fucking plaque that says, this is Brock's gym. He uses rock-type Pokemon. List of trainers who already have this badge. And the only name on that list is your fucking rival. Every single gym you go to. Your rival is always one step ahead of you. And it's annoying, and that's why beating him at the Elite Four when he's already beat you there is satisfying, because you're like, whatever, I'm still better than you. All 7 of these fights we've had, I've been better than you every time.
It's just good. It's just good game design.
And then starting in
good,
Gen
wholesome
5,
fun.
all right, fuck it. Our topic is the rival in Pokemon. So Gen 5,
we're like rapidly going away again.
All right, we'll wrap this up real quick. Gen 5, you had 2 rivals, one who was friendly and one who was kind of an asshole. And then in Black White 2, you had like an actually good rival. I wish they'd bring out the rival from Black White too, because he was cool. He was this guy who was already a trainer. You didn't know him. He showed up. You fought alongside him once, then you fought against him every other time you saw him, just because he's like, wow, you're actually strong. Let me like beat your Pokemon up real quick. And it was cool because he was actually like a strong character.
Wait, was that Lance or no? Lance was in.
No, I'm talking about Pokemon Black and White too.
Yeah. Wow.
Lance, I'm thinking of someone else.
I thought Lance showed up in a later game, but am I crazy? Didn't he show up like not in Golden's?
No, Golden Silver you work with him very briefly, but then he doesn't show up again.
Oh okay, yeah, because Lance is he's the Dragon type trainer.
Yeah. Shows how much I've played.
Yeah.
And then Gen 6 tried to be interesting with having, instead of a rival, you had a group.
Fuck off.
But at that point, none of them were actually antagonistic towards you, and that's where the downfall started.
Yeah, so they're all friends.
Yeah, Sun and Moon, they tried again that your like real rival is super friendly, and then you have a secondary rival who's like beyond edgelord. Like they went way too far in the wrong direction. Nothing about fighting was actually fun, because he would show up, he'd grunt, he'd say, "Huh, what are you doing here with your shitty Pokemon?" Then he'd lose, say, "How did my one fucking Pokemon lose again?" And this happens 3 times before he learns his lesson, and then he starts working with you. So Sun and Moon is not my favorite in terms of Pokemon design, but the problem was,
really, I couldn't tell.
Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon didn't do anything to change it. It was the same thing a second time over.
Anyway,
that's it for Nintendo. Let's talk about actual bad.
Let's talk about Sega.
Oh my God, we're a half hour in, and we're still.
Listen, we need to talk about this abomination. Tim.
This is technically no, I know that's fine.
We need a priest.
It's just funny. This is the 4th thing we're talking about.
So in the last 6 months, the abomination was the silhouette of the new live action Sonic the Hedgehog made its rounds around the internet, and then a second poster showed up of just Sonic looking at like the San Francisco Bridge, and his just legs look fucking weird. But this week, whatever ad agency is doing their shit for the movie accidentally leaked some promotional material for what Sonic's going to look like in this movie. And I'm not gonna lie, it's better than I expected, but I'm not happy that this is happening in the slightest.
No, it's true abomination.
I thought this would be way more Uncanny Valley, but this looks like...
We need John Constantine, bro. We need John Constantine to cleanse this.
I'm willing to bet it looks better when it's in motion, but...
No.
This ain't it, Chief.
No. I am definitely not seeing this.
I'm more concerned with the fact that... Why does Sonic have 2 eyes? Sonic only ever has 1 eye.
Stop. Stop it. Stop it. No, we're going to the next one.
Freeman, like everyone listening right now, just like what their blood pressure just ticked up a few notches as soon as you fucking said that.
Just go to this next thing.
Moving on.
Like we saw the rage bar fill on Tyler right there.
Yeah, Curse series requirements unlocked. Anyway.
Yep, exactly.
Anyway, moving on. So
let's just skip to.
I'm still a big fan of Guild Wars 2, and the news regarding this was huge. So even Luigi knew about it, was messaging me about it. Like, as happening.
Freeman. Speaking of, someone commented and said they were going to install Guild Wars 2 because you keep talking about it.
Oh man, I love Guild Wars 2. It's a really beginner-friendly game. It's really easy to get to like end game content pretty fast. Anyone wants to try it? I think the entirety of the base game is free to play. So go give that a shot if you'd like the idea of a MMO with no gear grind. Anyway, so it was the Friday after our last episode that Arenanet or not Arenanet, their parent company NCSoft announced that there would be some layoffs at Arenanet, involving moving some side projects that were in the works. They were going to cut a lot of that staff and bring. They said like half of them onto the main team. So it sounded like not a lot of people were getting cut. At the same time, Arenanet already did this publicity stunt where they invited a bunch of Blizzard devs to apply, or not, the like Activision Blizzard devs to apply to them because that whole controversy.
You mean the laid off people?
Yeah, the people who were laid off at Blizzard. But then Friday they announced there will be layoffs coming soon to Arenanet, and then literally Monday morning news breaks that they've cut more than 25% of their staff.
Man, wow, that's terrible.
Which was insane. I look, and they had like a mega thread going on Reddit, just the devs who've left, and like the community manager who's been with the game since Guild Wars 1, one of the head designers, my favorite guy who's been, two of my favorite guys, one who does mostly map design and did a lot of the jumping puzzles in the game, who did probably the coolest thing. So for April Fool's Day every year, they have this one zone open up that's like a tribute to 8-bit gaming. And this guy did it in his free time during the first year the game was under development. So
wow.
he left. He's just gone.
Well, he didn't leave.
Wait, what?
He didn't leave intentionally.
No. He didn't leave. One developer, my personal favorite dev on their team, did leave voluntarily because he couldn't take what was happening. This guy, he focused. So the game added raids with its first expansion, which was 10-man content. But this guy has basically been the key guy in keeping the 5-man content the game was originally based around alive. For anyone who plays Guild Wars, he is the guy who does Fractals of the Mist, the biggest endgame mode. He's the one who makes these crazy tweaks that people didn't think were possible just because of how much he likes this mode and wants to see it succeed. And he voluntarily walked because he's like, this is not where I want to be right now. This is too crazy. Too many people left. In the wake of it, they had delayed the Tuesday update that was going to add mounts to their massive PvP mode, which was like 3 servers, 100 players in each server fighting. They delayed that release, and we don't know what the release cadence going forward is going to be for the rest of the Guild Wars 2 releases. But everyone's not too optimistic, and all the devs have gone radio silent. According to eyewitness reports, Mike Z, the guy who's like the head director of Guild Wars, has been pacing nonstop the last 2 weeks because he doesn't know what's going to happen. So this is not looking too hot, but I don't want to give up hope because I still love Guild Wars 2 as a game.
Man, that's terrible.
But you know what, Freeman? It just means that in like 6 to 9 months, you're going to see a fucking Kickstarter project for a new MMO.
Oh, no.
I'm hoping,
yes.
I'm hoping Arenanet's not dead, unlike the next game dev you guys are going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
It's Biowware.
Tyler added this. I don't even really want to talk about this bullshit.
Yeah, because it's depressing.
Well, no, like, it's also just the company doesn't exist anymore.
Damn.
Like, no, like, everyone who made those original great games hasn't been there for a while. Like,
you're right.
It's impossible to see it as the same company. Okay,
You're
so
right. But yeah, we're talking about Anthem here, ladies and gentlemen.
Is this even really a headline? Like, this is the new. Obviously, it's nothing's ever going to be as bad as Fallout 76 has been.
So the headline is less about Biowware being dead. The headline's more that Anthem is bugged on PS4 and it's killing people's consoles, which may cause Sony to revoke the license that allows them to release patches day of, and will instead require them to go through a 1-month certification with Sony for every content patch they want to do.
Which
I'll
is
tell you
kill the game on PS4.
I'll tell you something right now. Someone fucked up on compliance, and someone's getting fired over this.
Like, I mean, you have to imagine. The only reason we haven't heard about layoffs at BioWare is because EA's still hoping that they can make it work.
Yeah, which, first off, it didn't get good reviews.
Nope.
Right? Like, not at all. Like, I've heard from actually multiple people that have bought the game personally that I think after a couple days, they're like, oh, we reached endgame already. And, like, we barely even grinded, and, like, we're already there. We're bored. This is less than a week of the game coming out.
It's just...
And then on top of that, all these reports about, the game crashing, right? Just, the PS4 unexpectedly. And so, and Sony is giving out refunds for this game. It's not doing too
there's
well.
also just so many other things working against it. Like, as much as no one really cares about The Division that much, The Division 2's coming out. Destiny 2 is, if you're looking to get into a loot shooter, like, the only thing this game has going for it is, hey, look, I'm Iron Man. And, like, it doesn't even seem like it does Iron Man that fucking well, because you basically just hover and shoot or fly. Like, you can't...
Yeah,
so
and
I
again,
remember playing... I never owned it, but I remember playing the demo of the Iron Man game on Xbox 360.
oh god,
And that game wasn't great, but you know what? You fucking flew around and could shoot the fucking beams without hovering in place. You could do, like, strafing runs and stuff. And, man, like, where's that fucking game?
Yeah, I don't know. But I will say, if anyone is interested in loot shooters, like if you're listening to this and you're like, well, what's a good alternative, right? Well, there's the Division. Division's not that great.
No.
Like fundamentally, it's not that great. I mean, you could take that opinion as much as you want, but it's true. But you can play Warframe.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
which is free. I hear they've done a lot of really good changes to it. Tim,
dude,
I know you played that game a lot.
I played it
like
years ago. I played it a lot years ago. So I am not in no way an up-to-date opinion, but Warframe was really fucking good back when I was playing it regularly, and apparently they have done some insanely huge content updates. Like, apparently they have, like, a semi-open world map now, and, like, space dogfighting missions, and, like, tons of shit.
Yeah. So
honestly, the biggest problem with Anthem is they needed another year in the oven and then 2 years to get to, like, a decent level, and they're just never gonna get there.
So the problem is they already did that once before. The game apparently used to be a lot different, and they were told to rework it to kind of model the Destiny style game as a service kind of thing.
Whoops.
Which is why they've already had a big setback.
And look what happened. Look what happened. But you can't fix stupid. Can't fix EA being a little greedy. Again, I understand.
Sucks for all the devs who get laid off because of this, but like.
And like, I don't blame Biowware honestly for this. Like, I know they were like, there's no way they were forced to make this.
Real quick, one of the like video game news YouTubers I trust a lot, Young Yang, he just posted a video about they found a way for you to fix your PS4 if it won't turn back on, so they're not permanently bricked. So that's the light at the end of the tunnel. But like, we shouldn't have been in this tunnel in the first place.
You guys keep talking. I gotta step away for a sec.
All right. Let's just move on. So
yeah, we can move on.
Tim ran away because he doesn't want to be here for the Weeeb shit.
Yeah.
Oh, crap! The first thing on here is the one Tim added. All right.
We'll go back to it. We'll go back to it.
All right, fuck. I'll start adding shit that he doesn't care about first. So, God, I was gonna let him joke off on here. Anyway, one of my favorite anime studios, Studio Madhouse. They've kind of disappeared off the face of the planet. For anyone who recognizes that name, they're famous for working on like One Punch Man. Their famous joke was that they don't do season 2s, and then suddenly when they started doing season 2s, they vanished. One of the shows they worked on was called Chihaya Furu, which it's the strangest sports anime you can imagine. So imagine in the same way that the game Uno is popular in America, there's a game that's popular in Japan called Karuta, and it's based on these 100 famous poems. And the way the game is played is there are 100 cards that each have the second half of the poem, and they're laid down in front of you, and you and your opponent you're both sitting on the floor across from each other, and there's all the cards are laid out, and each you get to lay 50 in whichever arrangement you want, and then someone will start reading off the poem, and you are racing your opponent to find the card that matches the poem that's being read right now. The thing is, this game is ancient, and because of that, it has a like competitive player base in Japan. So there are 2 poems that share the same syllable, you'll wait for the third syllable, and then you'll both attack the card because you've already memorized the board's like layout. This was the most ridiculous show to watch because I didn't even know a game like this existed. And Tim, I think I heard you come back. You here?
Yes, I'm here.
ProsED references one of his.
I was just gonna say
about weird ass shows you recommend your friends, and that was the show he's referencing this because it's a very odd show, but it has everything from a sports anime to a romance to just like your traditional kind of feel-good team building show. And I loved the first season. I put the second season on hold because I was busy at the time, and I was like, I keep delaying watching it. And season 3 was supposed to come out next season, but they had announced that it's getting pushed back to October. which means October's super stacked because Hero Academia and Haikyuu are then. But I'm upset because it means we are getting a 6-month delay with no word from Madhouse about what happened. And I think it's really time to say it. Studio Madhouse is dead. I don't think you're going to see any more announcements from them because they couldn't even pull off Chihaya Fuda after announcing it like a year and a half ago.
Damn, that's unfortunate because they did really good work.
They're a great studio. I'm hoping the season's good. I mean, we got to watch all season 2 first, but I don't know. I'm going to report on it weekly. You're going to hear about it here. Tim, let's talk about slime.
This was just me adding this, and I added this after I watched that time I got reincarnated as a slime, either last week or the week before. But honestly, having just watched yesterday's episode, man, I'm losing steam on slime real fucking quick, and I honestly feel like it's dragging down Shield Hero.
What?
Like it not like directly. It's my losing enjoyment of slime is making me recognize similar things in Shield Hero, and it's kind of frustrating me and making me... I
need you all to explain.
So, slime has been doing... Slime, like 2 months ago, had its big climax with the Orc Lord, right, Freeman?
Yeah.
So, ever since then, every single episode is just, haha, here's a little bit of stuff, Rimaru's powerful, let's have like a literal 3-second fight, maybe, and let's make a new friend by the end of the episode. And it just feels like there is absolutely nothing driving this story anymore. It just feels so dead and aimless. It's fucking crazy. Freeman, you saw last week where he's dancing around with the kids?
Yes.
And it's like, great, now we have these kids. Guess what? The whole plotline with the Queen of the Spirits is resolved this week. Like, there's no overarching plot or anything that feels like it's pressing whatsoever. Like, Charybdis. Tyler, a literal sky shark dragon with 15 flying sharks shows up and is defeated in half an episode. After building it up for 2 episodes.
So the icing on the cake was a similar fight happened in RE0, but that fight was like the point of the season in terms of like showing you how powerful this thing is, how hard it is to fight a fucking sky whale. Like, slime just brushed it off. And
Slime, the fucking Orc Lord's whole thing was like, wow, look at everyone's doing all their shit, everyone's popping off, like killing things around the battlefield, but this guy's super tough. And then we have a really touching conclusion with the Orc Lord, like where it turns it like he was just this corrupted nice guy who was super desperate in a desert, and like nothing else feels like it matters whatsoever. No, like during the fight with Charybdis, it's like, oh look, they're trying. Okay, they're weak. Rimaru and Milium are the only ones who can do anything.
So I kind of didn't really tell you guys this, but you guys were eating the shit of the show when I had noticed that it wasn't that great. I'm not gonna lie. After episode 8, the show stops being good. That was the second he's able to turn into a human, the show jumps the shark. I started rewatching with my friend Dave to show him it was right on episode 12 I started him on it, and I regret it now because I don't want to watch it a second time. But we just hit episode 8, and I realized, I'm like, this is the part where it stops being good, because in episode 8 he has a fight where it looks like things are grim and he has to use his real abilities, and suddenly it wasn't a problem. Nothing in that fight was a problem. And that's the first time that it's going to be like that for the rest of the show, because every other fight, there's like barely ever a moment where you don't doubt the main character is going to win. And now we're back into my least favorite genre of shows, overpowered main characters where the threat doesn't matter.
See, the funny thing here, Freeman, is that I am also losing traction with this, but I think if I went back and rewatched Overlord, I'd still enjoy it. Even though I know for you it's the same syndrome. But I feel like the characters in Overlord are so much more interesting than the ones in Slime.
I'm gonna have to rewatch season 1 because I did not. Like, are you talking about the Guardians?
Yeah.
Because I fucking hated them.
Oh, see, okay. They're not like earth-shattering, but they're way more interesting than the fucking people. Outside, okay, literally half the reason Slime is still enjoyable is because of Ranga, best boy.
Dude,
like
the wolf and the goblins, the only ones who give a shit about. The second the fucking ogres show up,
no,
get it.
Don't care.
Get these waifus out of my face. I don't want it.
There's like half the reason this season probably has any viewers is because he's still traveling with Ranga, who's like Tyler. It's literally a giant wolf with 2 spikes on its head that wags its tail in like every scene it's in.
Who's the best character?
And he's literally like
the
best
character.
boy, and that's
I love him so much.
I don't know. But the reason it feels like it's dragging down S.H.I.E.L.D. is because it kind of feels like S.H.I.E.L.D. right now is kind of spinning its wheels too.
It's not going to, though. So the thing with S.H.I.E.L.D. is...
I will say last week changed that. Last week changed that.
From what I know, S.H.I.E.L.D. never falls into the trope of the main character never actually being at risk. Listeners, we're going to talk very briefly about the most recent episode that's aired as of 3/5/2019, so just be warned. In the last episode, he unlocked a pretty cool power, but it did show that there are very real downsides to it, and he may have caused permanent damage to someone close to him. And that's good. There's a risk to his power, and I like that.
Yeah.
A character being strong with no downsides sucks. Being able to go Super
Even
Saiyan...
though they borrowed it from Berserk. What?
Even though they borrowed it from Dragon Ball, because the Kaioken was a thing, and they fucked that up, because there were never any downsides to that, even though if you use Kaioken wrong,
dude,
you're
he
gonna
was
fucking
laying
die.
there. He was laying there. Come on.
Anyway, I understand that Shield Hero may go down the whole waifu trap nonsense between having the 2 girls in the show, but I don't think it's going to affect the main plot of the show. I'm just concerned we're going to see a lot of those scenes just because they like pandering to that particular crowd.
You know what this makes me want? This makes me want another Violet Evergarden, because it makes me want something that's not just always work. You know what I mean? Like, I want something a little more emotionally resonant than just... I don't mind
You're probably
like
gonna have to dip
Gurren, the power
like the early
thing.
2000s, late 90s anime if you want something with that kind of feel, just because the current landscape
Not even,
has changed
but
a
not
lot.
even that much. Just something where it's not like, I almost want to try that Love is War. Isn't that good?
Love is War is a comedy. So I love it, but I don't. This is not a high quality show, but I love it nonetheless. It's It's when I say it's not high quality, I don't mean it's trash. I just mean like this isn't your Violet Evergarden, but it's very funny.
I don't think
and
it
has
is.
Quotable characters.
But I want something that's not just like, the explosions and fights are great, but I just feel like I'm becoming disillusioned with the other stuff in Slime and a little bit in Shield Hero. Like, Shield Hero still gets it, but I'm like worried. I'm worried. But then we talked about it on D&D the other day. Like, the next episode title for Shield Hero.
Just try and keep them separate. Slime and Shield Hero are going to end up as very different shows.
I know that.
I know that. All in the same isekai fantasy world traps.
Well, that's the thing. It also doesn't help that those are literally the only anime I'm watching right now. Like, the only other active show we're watching is Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
See, that's a problem. That you
even that's losing steam for me a little bit.
Oh, for what season are you on?
We're watching What's Live.
Oh,
we're watching New Brooklyn on Hulu.
So what season is that?
I don't know. 8? I don't remember.
There you
5?
Go.
No, it's 5. It's 5. It's 5.
Oh, that's inexcusable then. Because usually most of these sitcoms jump the shark by season 7. But
well, no, honestly, I think I've just been spoiled on binging. Like, it's hard for me to keep interest week to week. It legitimately is. I know that's shitty, but it's like, I kind of just want to... Like, me and Val have been spending a bunch of our time watching Hell's Kitchen again, another season of Hell's Kitchen, because it's like, this is just something you could just turn on and keep going.
I mean, believe me, there's a ton of finished anime that you can watch that's just
I know!
waiting to get watched.
Freeman, tomorrow, give us something we can watch.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
all right.
Man.
Something done that we can watch. Like, My Hero is the only thing that's going to keep me fucking gripped, and One Punch, probably. I have to say probably because I didn't watch One Punch live. I watched My Hero live. Or Food Wars. That was also different and interesting enough.
Live. Holy shit. The wait was annoying.
I'm sure. But that's what I want. I want to be, like, looking forward to and excited and wondering what's going to happen. Not like, oh my god, I know exactly what's going to fucking happen.
All right, well, you guys should watch
like
Mob
Shield
Psycho,
Hero, I
in
don't
only
know.
4 weeks.
Are we going to be able to get through the first season?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good.
Hope so.
I liked it.
All right, anyway, I'm sorry. I realized I half skipped over.
Moving on.
I mentioned one of our other topics.
So, One Punch Man Season 2 had its official announcement today saying that it's going to begin airing on April 9th. In the United States, it's airing exclusively on Hulu. So there's your good and your bad
Thank
news. All in
fucking
one
God
sentence.
I'm paying for Hulu now.
Oh, you are? Oh, good. I thought you weren't. I thought you were going to hate this news. But
No, I because of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I now pay for Hulu.
So I went into the discussion thread for this, and I expected a mix of responses, except it was literally all just 100 comments saying, "All right, boys, I'm setting sail," because no one wants to actually pay for Hulu.
Everybody disliked that.
Yeah, pretty much. So all the weebs are upset. But keep in mind, One Punch Man has heavy casual appeal.
Yes,
And
it does.
Hulu is not a niche anime market. Hulu is your general everyman streaming service. So it's not a bad place to have it, honestly. That said, I hate the way subtitles are on Hulu, so I'm probably going to have to go sail the seven seas for a couple weeks.
Damn.
Like, that's the problem. I have Hulu, I pay for it, but their subtitles are unbearable.
Haven't
I've
tried
never
them yet,
watched
so I'm
anything,
interested.
Yeah, with subtitles yet.
I like, especially now that Funimation is pushing a lot of the stuff onto Hulu. I think you should fix your subtitles. They're not just like ugly as fuck or take up half the screen. Like
That's
it's not
awful.
that hard.
That sounds pretty shitty.
Anyway, better streaming news is Netflix announced on March 8th, so a few days from the time recording, they're adding all of JoJo Season 1, I think dub and sub, which is great, because up till now, I don't know if you could actually watch the dub anywhere legally outside of, like, I think maybe Adult Swim's website occasionally. The dub isn't bad. The sub's really good. I love JoJo Season 1. The first 9 episodes maybe hit or miss just because the very first arc of JoJo was very old. This was like written in like 1980. But the second part, which I think starts episode 9 out of 26 this season, is great. It's one of my favorite parts of all of JoJo. If you're curious about the memes, you want to know why the song Roundabout is meme music, go watch JoJo Season 1.
Okay, I just have a question.
Yeah.
So part 5 is the anime right now, right?
Yes.
What part is the manga on? I don't actually know.
Part 8.
Wow.
Yeah. This has been going on monthly since the 80s.
I know, but wow.
So
Has it really been around since the 80s?
Yes.
Holy
Maybe
hell.
not 1980, but the problem is
I mean, that's still 30
you can't
years.
Google JoJo because the singer JoJo comes up first. You have to Google the full.
No.
You have to Google the full title of the show. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure started in 87. All right.
So 32 years.
Yes. I just want to
Jeepers
clarify
creepers.
that. So the first 6 parts do happen in, like, air quotes, continuous order. Starting part 7, he created a new universe so you could tell different stories, but the same characters appear, but they're completely different. Like, they may have the same names or the same roles, but who they are and the way they go about things are very different. So 7 and 8 are
that's
essentially
awesome.
their own timeline. So you can jump in at 7 and 8, and you can enjoy it, but you won't really appreciate what every character's name or like what they're doing really represents. So I do recommend starting from the beginning. That said, JoJo's getting up there in numbers. I think it's like 130 episodes from start to finish now with the currently airing stuff, between 26 in the first 2 parts, 52 to cover part 3, 39 for part 4, and it looks like another 39 for part 5. So it's a lot of episodes. JoJo's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it.
It is
Yeah,
a pretty
JoJo's
fun
pretty
show.
huge.
Plus, it's really memey, and for the most part, you don't need to take it that seriously. Except for, like, there are plot arcs where you want to take it seriously, but for the most part, you don't. Because starting with part 3, it's episode of the week, and if you take it seriously, you're going to get bored. You just have to laugh at it because it's one giant meme.
I don't want to say it's a show like Dragon Ball that a lot of black people like, but
Wow. I mean,
Whoa.
you're not wrong.
Whoa!
Actually, no. I don't know any
I don't-
people that like JoJo.
do you really? Okay.
No, they love Bleach.
They love. So
that's
they like
fa-
Bleach, Naruto, and Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly Naruto. Because it's about a motherfucker who wants to be the best and he doesn't know where his dad is.
Oh my god.
My God.
And demonetized.
Here we go. All right.
Where are
so,
we going to the next?
So, so last week, I got a text from my buddy saying, "Why is Steam deleting anime?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Nani?
So Steam.
Man.
So Valve has deduced that Steam's streaming service really isn't that great, and no one's really using it to watch purchased content.
Oh my god, that's
So
a
Steam
shock.
is discontinuing video content on the Steam store. The problem is a majority of their actual video streaming content was anime. So as I put in the notes, this is a
Oh
direct
my
attack
God.
on weeb culture. Listeners, I'm calling for the immediate.
No,
using Steam.
don't
We're gonna get our
even.
anime from the Epic Games Store. It's the only
Oh
solution.
no.
Oh god.
No. I don't think anyone gives a shit. If you were really honestly streaming your stuff through Steam, sorry, but like you picked the wrong horse. There's no nicer way to say this.
Whoever even heard of this? Like who advertised this or anything?
So ironically enough, Crunchyroll advertised that their shit was available on Steam, but you had to double dip for access, so no one did it. Like if you already had Crunchyroll, there was no point in doing it on Steam.
Right.
Yeah.
Who the hell? I didn't even know they did that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Who knew this?
They also didn't market it on their front page anywhere. Like video was like hidden away. So shame on them. They mismanaged this.
Yes.
They lose their anime. Moving on, let's talk about Funimation real quick. So Funimation, why do I feel like this is old news? So this is old news, but I was going to report on 2 weeks ago. So I've been talking a lot about this show coming out called Fire Force, which is by the same author who did Soul Eater, one of my favorite mid 2000s shonen animes. But this whole manga deals with instead of fires being like traditional fires, they're actually like fire demons, and instead of firefighters just using hoses, they use special abilities and talents. And there's this one dude who can actually control flames, so he's fighting fire with fire, and that's why he's joining the Fire Force and whatever. Standard battle shonen bullshit, whatever. But it looks really good. And Funimation announced they have the rights for it. So I expect there's going to be a simuldub and possibly an airing on Adult Swim, given that's how Funimation rolls with their big shows. So I think that's kind of next season. I've seen a lot of announcements for different like character designs and voice actors. So I'm pretty sure they're in the middle of like big announcement season. I think it's next, like literally next month it's happening. So I'm definitely going to watch it. I need a new action show.
Whoa. Breaking news.
What?
I was on my phone and I see a headline from PC Games 5 hours ago. Halo the Master Chief Collection for PC is reportedly close to release.
Oh.
If that actually comes out, Tyler, we'll play all the Halo games on Legendary together in a second.
Oh man, listeners,
we'll take like a weekend and literally just play for the whole time.
No, wait, that can't be it. Wait, when's it? No, Tim, I need a date, man.
Tyler, it doesn't say anything, but they'd probably announce it at E3.
Tim.
Tyler, what am I supposed to give you? It's not in the fucking article. Oh my god. I would finally finish. This would finally be the end of the Let's Play. The never continued Master Chief Collection Legendary Co-op Let's Play would reboot and go again.
Wait till we're done recording.
Fine. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. Funimation's weird, man.
Anyway, so Funimation announced they're changing their pricing models. This was unusual because I thought Funimation was going to dump all this shit on Hulu and call it a day. But it looks like they're revamping how the Funimation website works, kind of keeping in line with how Netflix works. Right now, there were two models. There was basic and premium. Basic meant you just got all subtitle content and all old dub content. Premium got all the simuldubs. The new pricing model works this way. They have premium plus, and then here's the kicker: premium plus ultra is the top tier one. So premium is you can only stream one like computer or device at a time. Premium plus is kind of what the existing premium is. It costs a little more. Anyone who already had premium prior to this change will get premium plus for the old price. So you get kind of, what's the term, like grandfathered in. So I'm in that scenario right now. First I was obsessed. I'm like, damn, they're going to charge me like $4 more a month for the same shit. But if you already had it, you get to keep it at the old price. And then Plus Ultra has some like extra shit they haven't really announced. Honestly, it sounds like a huge trap. I wouldn't go with their Plus Ultra shit. But if you're like me and you share your account with people, which you're not supposed to do, and I shouldn't have said that on the podcast, you're gonna want you're gonna want Premium Plus. It's the only way you can have more than one person watching at a time. So they're kind of going the Netflix route, where I don't know if on like base Netflix only like one person can watch at a time or something like that. But I know they were. Does this sound familiar to you guys, or am I just making this up?
Netflix, I can have two people on.
There you go.
Yeah, you can have
pay for the
two people on at once.
But then they have.
If you want, you can. I think you can pay to add more people on.
I think it's like up to 5 simultaneous. But
there's a $5 with the highest tier.
Point is, they're going down the Netflix route of saying like, if you want to share, you can, but like you gotta pay us for it, which is semi understandable. I'm not really upset. I was just upset that it's now more expensive than it used to be. But since I'm not actually paying more, I don't give two shits. I'm not going to bitch about it every week like I usually do. Moving on. This is where we're at. So a couple weeks ago,
Oh boy.
we talked to you guys about how me, Tyler, and Luigi watched an anime for true men of culture. Elon's favorite, Kakegurui, compulsive gambler. Shows about girls just getting off on betting insane amounts of money on ridiculously childish games at their high school. The show is a 10 out of 10. I can't recommend it enough. After having
Still
only
haven't
seen
watched.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
That said, they announced a live action version of it.
I saw
What the
that.
fuck?
And then they put a trailer up for it, and I don't like it. So I
It
watched the whole
doesn't look
trailer,
good.
waiting for like the weird ass faces. None of them ever got that weird, and all of the characters are overacting so hard. Like you can watch Japanese movies, and you can tell when people are being realistic and when it's just like over the top bullshit the whole time.
Wow.
And this trailer is just over the top bullshit the entire
Oh,
time.
no.
I started playing this in the background while I'm talking about it, and I'm remembering how bad this trailer is. I have no hope for this movie. I do not plan on watching it unless for some reason, actually no. Netflix is probably going to buy the rights to it.
There we go.
Because they're going all in on this brand. Like I think they're the exclusive streamer for Death Note, and that's partially why they went all in on these live action Death Note movies. They're big on establishing a brand. I think Kakegurui did really well, so they're probably going to acquire this movie, and I'm warning everyone, it's going to be really bad.
It ain't gonna be good.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
That's it for my weeb shit, but someone else wants to talk about their weeb shit.
Segueing into Kakegurui, I finished the first season.
Oh, nice. Is it actually 10 out of 10, or was that a huge exaggeration?
Nah, it's pretty 10 out of 10. It gets pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Given what happened though, happens maybe halfway, 3/4 through the season, the ending is a little underwhelming, but I'm still down to watch more of it.
Was it one of those blatant setup for season 2s?
No, actually.
Interesting. So it was it felt standalone.
It felt standalone. Yeah, actually. But I know there's a season 2 because my one buddy is actually watching it right now.
Yeah, it's currently airing, so it'll be a couple months till Funimation gets it after they're done dubbing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I actually thought it was for the theme. I never thought I would actually give it a shot, but then when we did, it just gets crazy.
Look,
it's nuts.
I've been a longtime fan of Food Wars. I knew I was going to love this the second I heard the description of it.
Wait a minute, Freeman. You just invoked the name of Food Wars.
Just to clarify, mostly just because of the orgasm aspect, nothing else. Once I knew that it has these over-the-top sequences of characters literally getting off on gambling, this sounds like Food Wars. I'm going to enjoy this. So yeah, there you go.
No, there's this chick though with a gun. And
wait, say that one more time.
There's a chick with a gun.
All right, that's what I thought you said. You cut out a little bit.
Yeah, Tyler, you're buzzing and cutting out a little bit.
Oh no, maybe I need to switch back to my other mic for future purposes.
I don't know if it's the mic or the threshold or internet being a little buzzy, but there's definitely a little buzz factor.
It might be a little bit of the internet. I'm broadcasting from a new location where the connection to the router is not reliable. My dad's thinking of getting new hardware. Dude. But
well, now that you're back in the house, you can make that shit happen.
Yeah, I know. No, I have faith in him. He actually taught me a lot of stuff when I was younger. But whatever. Compulsive gambler. There's a girl there with there's a girl in there with a gun, and she's crazy, actually crazy. It's wild.
Oh boy, maybe I have to watch it.
And I'm just I got stressed out watching this. I was like, I know that whatever's gonna happen.
I just want to clarify, this show isn't like Food Wars except for just the orgasm aspect. So yeah. I wouldn't go in assuming that.
No, yeah,
I'm not. But you guys have been hyping it up a bunch and saying it's really good. So
it's hilarious. I showed my 2 other buddies last night, and they're just like we got to the ending animation. They're both sitting just what the fuck is going on with this show?
Right. So what's it called? I also discovered this really old anime called Bubblegum Crisis.
I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it, but I know of it.
So but the way I found it was, I was going through some chill wave playlist
Oh,
on
boy.
YouTube.
Oh, and they have the anime girls on
It
loop.
has the
over there.
anime girls, and I'm like, what's this from? And so, like, I obviously doing my detective thing, going through the comments, I find it and I read the synopsis, and it's like, oh yeah, like, 4 girls in the the not too distant future. It's basically like cyberpunk, but these girls dress up in like mech outfits and they kick the shit out of robots. And I'm
Whoa.
like, I'm about this.
It looks like it has the
this is
Akira
this is
aesthetic.
my aesthetic.
Yeah, like the animation is pretty good. They made like some newer ones, but I heard that like some reviews said they weren't that good. It was slated for 10 episodes or 12. No, it was slated for 12 episodes, but it only got 8. It was one of those
Aw.
things that like, oh, it didn't do as well as it wanted to, but then later on it gained a fan base, so they tried, reviving it.
Mm-hmm.
But even that didn't work out. But I'm like, I'm giving this a try because I was like, oh, this looks cool. I watched the first episode so far.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. And plus, like it's super short too. Like I tried watching Fist of the North Star, and I think I only got like through 15 episodes before I was like, man, I can't take this old style anymore. Yeah, that's what I'm watching right now. I wanted to just throw that in there.
That's good. I like when people go back and watch some of the oldies.
Yeah, man, I have an appreciation. Actually, my buddy from work, he's like, Tyler, I'm trying to watch the old Gundams. Do I watch them
Hell yeah.
like canonically, or do I watch them like time of release? I'm like, bro, you need to watch it time
Man.
of release. It's gonna kill you.
I was doing that a bit to get ready for Gundam Unicorn, but the problem is the early Gundams are a little boring. They didn't age super well. Like I watched, so they took the first 52 episode Gundam series and they boiled down to 3 2-hour movies, which wasn't terrible, but it was a lot to get through. Then you have Gundam Double Zeta and that whole shit going on, and it's a lot to watch. That said, eventually you hit the era of Gundam Wing, which is when like Gundam hit like peak 90s aesthetic. But it's a fun
Man.
ride. Like watching original Gundam is rough, but it gives you a good understanding of like where the robot genre like really came from, because it's evolved a lot.
Mm.
To see where like the one thing I always never understood about Gundam was the show is always about the characters, not about the robots, and I didn't get that about how Gundam is really just a story of war where the Gundams are weapons. It's not a story about Gundam fighting like G Gundam. Like that was the anomaly.
Right, that was it. Yeah, almost like another anime we're trying to get Tim to watch.
Oh, Megalobox?
No.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what show we were trying to get him to watch.
What are you
Code
talking about?
Geass.
Oh yes. Yes, Code Geass is similar to that in that the robots aren't the central characters; they're just
Hey,
tools
look,
of war.
my magic sleeves are sitting right on the Code
Oh my-
Geass Blu-ray box on my desk. Tyler, I need to...
Oh, that's right. I did want to make a point, right, to finish Space Dandy. So I couldn't find Bubblegum Crisis like online to stream anywhere. I think on VRV maybe, but I was like, nah, I'm not paying anything. So I just bought the Blu-ray.
Do you need access to a VRV account?
Oh,
Too
I
late.
mean, maybe, but I already bought the Blu-ray though.
Okay.
It was only like $20. It
not
really
bad.
wasn't that. Yeah, it wasn't that
Wait a minute. That's more than a month of VRV to watch the show.
true.
But you can watch it forever.
I
Oh
can
shit!
watch
This
it
is rated mature.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty freaking nuts.
Wait, why do they only have 2 episodes?
What?
Ooh, wait, maybe Tyler made the right decision.
Hold on.
Maybe I did make the right decision.
What the fuck?
Freeman is investigating.
Yeah,
what
he's
happened here?
This is live investigation, folks.
Does
What
Bubblegum
happened?
Crisis only have the first 2 episodes on VRV?
Damn, I made the
How does
right
that even
decision.
happen?
Hold on.
You made a good decision.
So it might be one of those scenarios where they picked up an old license and they're instead treating it like it's an airing show and releasing 1 episode a week.
Oof.
That would be insane timing for Tyler to have picked this show up at the same time that they start releasing it.
This can't be.
That would
right.
be that'd be
That's
weird.
too cosmic.
That is too, I don't like this. I don't like it. I should go play the lottery.
Glitch in the
though.
Matrix over here.
Hold on. This investigative journalism is taking more than just 10 seconds like usual.
Well, I was while you're doing that, Freeman. I was gonna say it's already 9:45. Do we want to?
Topic's not happening this week.
Okay,
shit,
that's
I'm
fine.
trying to talk
I'm out
about
of time.
waifus and shit, bro.
We could do that next week.
Yeah, I guess.
Tyler, you can forever talk about.
True.
We just skip the news and talk about waifus next week. We can go for 3 hours.
It was great. We got our coworker to like look up waifu pillows last week.
Oh my goodness.
God.
Well, it was funny because he's like we were like it came up a conversation where it was like oh this guy, I remember what happened. So a coworker was like, trying to talk shit. He's like, oh, I bet he's gonna go watch that hentai. And I stepped in. I was like, bro, what are you talking about? He's like, what? It's hentai, man. I'm like, yeah. Why are you talking shit? But dude, it was great. The rest of the office was like, hey man, yeah, like, what are you talking about? Like, what? You don't like big anime titties? And I was like, yeah, what are you, gay? And he's like, hey man, listen, like, they're not even real. I'm like, yo, don't you take that back.
That only makes it better.
You take that back. They're real to me, damn it. And he like got like really confused and disturbed, and he's like, whatever, man. And he left.
Whatever, man.
I really hope Luigi listens to this part of the podcast. I want to hear Luigi come into D&D and be like, what the fuck, guys?
What?
How could you not include me on this conversation?
Yeah, I bet he'd be upset. He's like, talking about waifus.
Luigi only loves the quality waifus.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, then we got our buddy into it because he's like, I bet those people who have the big pillow, the body pillows with the girls on. I'm like, yo, you mean like Mike? He's like, what? Wait, Mike has one? Yeah, we bought it for him. He's like, wait a second. But dude, what was even better, right? So like for context, it's an Asuna body pillow.
Hell
right?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
From Sword Art, yeah. And so, because that's his waifu.
Oh my god.
And we were like, yo, I bet we can find the one that we got.
Look at this basic bitch.
Because we only got like one. Yo, shut your mouth. All right. You're talking about.
Bro,
Asuna
the last
like
season
that.
has shown that she is upgraded to like top tier waifu.
Even though she was already top tier waifu, and then they downgraded her.
Yes, but in terms of waifu like quality, she's picked up a lot more.
I don't understand how you could pick up more than.
Bro, are you watching Alicization?
No, absolutely not.
She will go.
I gave up.
She will go to the ends of the earth to find Kirito, and that's what
I
makes her a good
believe
waifu.
that. I already believe that.
No, but you get to see it.
I knew in my soul, Friedman, that she would do that.
I knew in my soul.
Even though she was a stay-at-home like mom in Gun Gate, like I knew she would drop everything and like save her man if she wanted to.
Holy shit.
What, Tim? Listen,
Nothing.
You don't understand the power of waifus, all right?
Thank God. You know what?
No,
that means I haven't dipped my toes too deep.
God, clearly you don't understand.
Man, not even a man of culture. Tim, he likes anime. This is clearly false. This is fake news.
This is fake news.
Oh, but straying from my point, we went to go look for his specific one and found like literally 5 or 6 more options of a similar theme with Asuna, and I'm like, whoa, clearly this is a growing market.
I mean, isn't Sword Art still fucking huge?
Yes, the current season is great. I don't talk about it week to week, but the last season has been fire. Like, I look forward to watching that and Mob Psycho every Friday.
Man. See, we talked about waifus a little bit.
Yeah, you guys managed to broach the topic a little bit.
No, wait. What? I know we talked about it before. What is your waifu, I think, Tim? I don't remember. If you had to pick...
Who is your waifu, Tim?
Yeah, who's your waifu?
I don't think I've ever actually decided on one.
Really? Oh, well, now it's time.
If you had to pick one off on the spot.
I can't even think of all the anime I've watched, much less all the characters in those anime.
This is a problem. Like, you shouldn't have to think. You should. The word waifu comes up, and then your head goes female anime character. And who's the first one that pops into your head?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like mine is Revi from Black Lagoon. One of the forbidden waifus. Oh yeah. forbidden waifu.
See, I'd say Yoko from Gurren, but like that's kind of cheating because Tyler's other Discord group's logo is the fucking Gurren logo, so obviously I'm gonna think of Gurren right away.
No, it's fine. Yeah, if that's your waifu, if Doom bitch is your waifu, go for it.
Oh my god.
She's got the kiss of death, man.
For real though, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous waifu, but that's
dangerous...
Tyler's territory as well.
That is my territory. Except we rated white, like there are like dangerous waifus. Apparently, like Revi is the same as what's her face from Kakaguri.
Yes, I can see that. They're both in the same territory of like craziness.
You could say that me and Elon Musk have similar taste in waifus. Just crazy bitches who don't know.
Oh yeah.
I should
Freeman, you never talked about the news story that was Elon being on Meme Review.
Let's be real, the whole internet already knew.
That's fair.
So, for anyone who's still invested in the PewDiePie T-Series race like I am, you'll know that the sub gap is sub 10,000 and it's getting scary.
You know, some guy I saw near the top of fucking Reddit, some guy created a channel and got like 40 subs and then posted a screenshot online of him versus PewDiePie and then got like 50,000 subs in 5 minutes.
That's how it works, the PewDiePie effect. As long as you're associated with him, you get attention.
It's my god, that's so
It's the
lame.
same as having a commercial in the Super Bowl. If enough people see it, you're bound to get a couple to stick. That said, PewDiePie, actually not PewDiePie, Elon tweeted weeks ago a picture of him with a machine gun saying, like, when am I hosting Meme Review?
Yeah.
And everyone's just, like, joking about this, and then it finally happened. Him and Justin Roiland reviewed.
It was so funny.
Some low-quality
I even
memes.
watched the bit because I was like, oh, I'll see what the hell this is. I'm like, oh, everyone cares about, but Justin Roiland's right there, guys. Like, Justin Roiland's a cool guy, too.
Yeah, but Justin Roiland seems like the kind of guy who'd do this. Elon is just, like, so out there. But more importantly, Elon laughed hysterically at a picture of a dead deer, and the internet was
so
eating
funny.
it up. I loved it. Like the only
Tyler, did you see this?
No, I need you guys to link me the sauce because it sounds great.
No, we'll show it to you after. I'm sure Freeman could pull it up in a second. But there's literally a picture.
You don't even finish typing the word Elon, and it's Elon Musk Meme Review comes up. It's
a picture of a dead deer in the bottom of a pool, and someone says something, and the caption is, "Something's wrong with my dolphin." And Justin Roiland's like, "This is okay," and then Elon just starts laughing his head off, and is like, "Is this real?" And he's like, "Oh shit, wait a minute."
This is great. The first 2 seconds of the segment has the anime wow noise in it, so you know it's going to be good.
Yeah, we'll watch this after the podcast. It's pretty fucking funny, but everybody lost their mind.
Elon Musk, and it came up with Meme Review.
First thing. It's great.
But yeah, why don't we just do weeks, and so we can get Tyler to watch these memes and play some Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
All right.
Wants to go first?
I'll go first. Fuck it. I'll go first. Not much happening. My girlfriend had surgery on Friday, so I've been hanging around taking care of her a bunch. I haven't had too much time for just gaming around. I've been grinding out Neo. That game is fucking great so far. I'm only a few hours in, but man, this game... Tyler, I was saying this in your Discord chat the other day when I was invited in there. Like... This game has so many more systems going on than Dark Souls does. It's kind of crazy. I am definitely going to suck at this game, but it's really fun to play. I am currently grinding attempts on the second boss, which is probably pretty terrible, but at the same time, it's fucking hard game. But it's really interesting. Tomb Raider, I haven't played in like 2 weeks now because I recorded a bunch early. I just got to go back and try to fucking make progress on that game. I just don't care about Shadow of the Tomb Raider at all right now.
Damn.
It's not a bad game, but it's just so much the same as the other Tomb Raiders. And the story, like the last story beat I had was Lara and her friend are rowing down the middle of a river in a fucking rowboat, and a military chopper, like a cartoon villain, pops over the hill, shoots their boat, somehow doesn't kill them, and then flies away. It was like literally a cartoon villain. I was like, there's even, and 5 minutes before that, there was a scene where Lara is like throwing something to her ally, who's of course defending her from a mile away, and all of a sudden they're in the middle of this village with bows and arrows and everything, and then out of nowhere, a guy with an M4 just steps out and shoots her in the chest and leaves. I'm like, okay, cool, that mattered. It's not bad. The gameplay's still great. It's frustrating to. I just so don't care about the story. I so don't care. Other than that, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna play next. I kind of don't want to. I know I bought what's it called? I can't think of the name. That other RPG that everyone said, Kingdom Come Deliverance. That one that a lot of people said was kind of Witcher-like. I don't think I'm gonna jump into that yet. I don't feel like sitting down and playing something long form while I'm playing Neo, which I know is gonna take a bunch of time, and trying to finish Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I might actually do another Star Wars Season 2. A lot of people liking that. I also might play Dishonored, because that's not really a game you can grind. That's just kind of a game you play on camera or not at all. I kind of just am at the point where I don't really want a grindy game, because I kind of feel like I should be grinding in Shadow a little, but I also really want to grind in Neo, and I'm also playing Siege with you guys, with anybody who's online whenever possible. I also am... actually, I guess in other news, I just sold my first big batch of Magic cards, as I'm trying to cut down my collection a lot. I immediately used that money to build 2 new Commander
more
decks.
Magic cards.
However,
Use your fake money
considering
to buy more Magic cards.
that's fair, but I'm still planning on tomorrow sending out another 100 cards, and I'm trying to, considering just a few weeks ago I got rid of all my bulk, I'm really, really, really trying to cut back a lot, and I think I'm at the point where I'm finally just going to like, even one of the 2 new decks, about half of it is coming out of an old deck. So I'm actually trying to get to the point where I'm more side building than just fresh building. Because I don't want to keep doing that anymore. I want to really buckle down and work at making a deck good and not just give up on it. Like, Kess is almost at the point where she's completely foiled out and unchangeable. Like Freeman, remember Electro Dominance?
Do I remember the card? No.
Just the card, yeah.
No.
It's the X red.
From... Yeah, okay, now I remember the card, yeah.
So that was going to go in Kess. I don't think there's a place for it anymore. That's how tight the list is. Like, I'm just at this point where I feel like the list is almost perfect. So
it kind of sucks, though, because it means you like you're going to kill your sense of brewing for it, because you won't.
Yeah, but I still love playing it. I still play it once a weekend and just absolutely fucking love the deck. Anyway, but other than that, still watching Shield Hero. Might not watch Slime anymore. Watching Brooklyn.
Damn, there's only like 3 episodes left of Slime.
Oh yeah, you're right. Isn't there also only 3 left of Shield Hero?
No, Shield Hero has a whole nother core to go. So there's 18
oh shit, we're gonna be at the
Shield
halfway.
Hero. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's why
I thought it was only a 13.
No, it was.
I thought it was
for
only
26.
a 13.
That's why I had high hopes going into it.
Oh wait, is it a break though?
As far as I know, no, it's a continuous run.
Oh shit, nice. Because Slime wasn't a break, and Slime was good for the first half, and now, but we already talked about that. I'm trying to think. I might be starting to work weekends at my job and being off Mondays. Well, switching to weekends and getting off Mondays and Tuesdays. So if that happens, maybe I'll like live stream during the day a little bit because I won't have much to do. That's something I'm kind of considering. But that's far off in the future. Hopefully, at least a week. I'll probably have more news next week about that. But yeah, I really enjoyed live streaming. I wouldn't mind doing stuff. I know during the day in the U.S. isn't a great time for people who mostly watch in the U.S., but I don't know. I'll try to put something together. Trying to think. There's really not much else. Oh, Captain Marvel comes out this week. I don't think
Oh,
we're
wait,
going to see
really?
it anytime soon. Yeah,
Yeah.
March 8th. But Val and I need to see Lego Movie and How to Train Your Dragon 2 before we see that. So, I don't know. Maybe if Val's up for it, we'll go see a movie tomorrow or something. But if she's not, we'll maybe go like this weekend or next week or something.
I think I'm going to do that thing where I just wait until the week before Avengers 4 comes out and just watch all the movies that I need to watch to get up to date again.
Didn't you already do that for the last
I
Avengers?
did, but I skipped all of Ant-Man because I thought it wasn't going to be important.
Literally being Captain Marvel, and that's gonna be it. Ant-Man
No,
and the Wasp was not important.
Ant-Man and the
Oh, no,
Ant-Man and
actually,
the
it
Wasp,
might be.
literally the post-credits scene is what mattered. That's what mattered. Ant-Man and the Wasp post-credits.
All right, fine. I guess I'll just go see Captain America or Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
No, actually, now I'm thinking. Wait, no, I think it might be slightly important.
Tyler, I was just saying the post-credit scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp matters.
No, not even that. Well, yeah,
Captain
it is
Marvel?
That. No,
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh,
like the concept of the movie is important.
I get what you mean. Anyway, either way, I'm not super hyped for Captain Marvel at all. This is like the least hype I've been for a Marvel movie. And it doesn't help that there's all this politics bullshit that apparently the main actress said about like white guys not blah blah blah, and getting review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes, and then immediately them pulling the feature and saying that wasn't why, and it just sucks.
I like going.
But apparently the movie's not even that good.
Drama. Is it actually?
I wish I could, but apparently the early previews are like, this is just kind of whatever. Like that's actually what I've seen, is that previews are like, It just doesn't seem like she's an interesting character at all. Am I crazy, Tyler?
No.
You would know better than I would.
Yeah, honestly, she ain't. I don't think she's interesting. People are like, I know Leslie's like hype, bright, like she's like, oh, female superhero, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, that's cool and all, but like, I need something that like is good.
Matters.
All right,
is good.
Now, if you make something on caliber of Black Panther, then I'm like, sure, man. But right now, it's not that interesting.
No.
Like at all. Like I don't care about her. It doesn't even I don't even know what they're gonna do. It doesn't even take place like in the current timeline. Like it takes place in like the 90s.
All in the past, yeah.
So I'm just like, man.
Well, there's at least a jump forward. Because she has a time jump from being a pilot on Earth, or maybe those are flashbacks. I don't actually know.
It's fine. This movie's gonna have one of those only '90s kids would understand kind of feels to it, and that's
it is.
No, and I'm like I'm already whatever about it. I mean, I'll probably end up gonna see it because it's gonna play into Endgame.
It's a Marvel movie. Yeah,
honestly,
of course it is. I mean, we saw Infinity War.
Yeah, if I knew it would have nothing to do with Endgame, I probably wouldn't see it.
I mean, honestly,
I'm wondering if outside of the character, if the plot's actually going to play at all in Infinity War, if it's just here now you know who she is. And I mean, you can't. I want to bet, but
anything that does is going to be in a post-credit scene.
Probably
outside of the character, it's going to be a post-credit scene that actually plays into it. It's going to be like, it's going to be
her responding to the call at the end of Infinity War.
That's exactly what I was going to fucking say. It's going to be the hook in. It might even be just a fucking new trailer. Remember when movies sometimes had trailers or like sneak previews of like a sequel or something?
Yeah.
Like, could you like watch that be this? Is just like, here's a preview for fucking Endgame, you idiots. Like, wow, here's how she fits in. I don't even. Like I said, Val's wanted to see How to Train Your Dragon 3 since the first one, so that's a bigger priority. And honestly, I'm not that hyped for Lego movies, so. Anyway, I've been rambling. One of you guys take it away.
I'll go next. So I'm almost done beating Persona 5. This game is taking a long time to beat. No,
holy shit.
I haven't picked up any real games. I'm playing through Pokemon while I'm watching other stuff. This game is taking so long. I fucking hate Pokemon Go. Like, the more I play this, the more I hate this game.
Not Pokemon Go. Let's Go.
Sorry, Pokemon Let's Go. That's what I meant to say. Not the shitty mobile game. The shitty Switch
Let's
game.
Go.
Yeah, I was gonna say not the other game that no one really cares about, but the game that
the actual game that no one should really care about. Yeah, that game sucks. I'm disappointed with it. More disappointment. I finally watched the 6th Digimon Adventure Try movie, and holy crap, that was a huge letdown. That ruined the entire point of even having these movies in the first place.
Jeez.
I'm ashamed it took them 3 years to release this entire movie series. Then that fucking note where they're like, oh, we'll just rewind and replace all the plot, except now the villain, who you still aren't really sure who it is, has that cube that you're not really sure what it does.
Damn.
That's it. That was the whole
Freeman, that's fucking
movie.
harsh.
Fuck it. It ruined the legacy
Damn.
that the Adventure and Adventure 02 had in my life, and now I'm pissed because they're making another follow-up, and I'm like, I don't care anymore. You already made it so pointless and so hollow that whatever you push out is just, I already know it's not going to excite me because it's going to be this shitty friendship is power, nothing ever, like, I can't verbalize it, but it was bad. I hated it.
Nothing really matters.
Except it kind of mattered to me. But anyway, outside of Digimon, it was a great week for anime. Both Mob Psycho and Promise Neverland had 2 of the strongest episodes of any show I've seen in the last couple years. Like, these were both bombshell episodes that made me sitting there going, holy fuck, how many days till the next episode? I say this a lot, but like, this is the time to be watching seasonal shit. This is what I live for. I can't wait for these next episodes.
In the same episode where I'm like, man, fuck this seasonal shit.
Yeah, for real though. That's the duality of man right here. In terms of games I'm going to pick up, I'm on the fence about what I want to do next. My cousin's bugging me to play Final Fantasy X finally, which I've been beating.
Now, Friedman,
yeah,
not to skew the vote, but someone did buy you a game for the holidays.
I know, but I also bought Final Fantasy X like a year ago that I haven't played it yet.
But that's Final Fantasy.
I know. I don't get what you're getting at, Tim. Point is, it's in the
Darkest Dungeon.
I have multiple
though.
games type. I also have Tyler's copy of Nier Automata that I do want to give back to him.
I don't even care about that game.
Except I care about returning things that I borrow.
I care about that you playing. I'd rather you play either Darkest Dungeon or Final Fantasy X over that game, honestly.
For real?
No, Tyler, you have to make a judgment call on it. Which one?
I think I should play Super Mario Brothers 2, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah, it is the best game, you know what I mean?
Debating between that. I still haven't started Anthem, and honestly, all this conference just makes me want to try it and see what it's actually like.
Wait, you have Anthem?
So I bought a GTX 2070, and it came with a free copy.
Oh, right, the free.
Battlefield 5 or Anthem. So I own a free copy of Anthem because fuck playing Battlefield ever again. And I have it installed. I'm just too lazy to start it up because I've also just been grinding Magic Arena a lot. So every time I go to start, I'm like, nah, let's not do it. I played like a round of Apex Legends this week. It's okay. I understand where the hype is. I think I can definitively say I just don't like battle royales.
Did you like playing it though? Like the physical act of playing the character?
Oh, the actual game, the gameplay itself is fun. Like my biggest problem with PUBG is that it feels like I can never hit anything, and there's no point in actually playing a shooter. The rest of the game, the whole running from the circle, the whole encroaching and fighting other people, the battle royale aspect, it's fun. It's a cool idea. You don't get that kind of rush in other games, and I get the appeal of it.
That's not what I meant. I meant like the act of the movement and sliding and all that.
I mean, it was okay.
The guns feel.
I didn't slide and say, "Holy fuck, this is insane." I slid and said, I said, "Oh, it's just like Mirror's Edge," and then I moved on.
Tyler knows what I'm going for here.
Like Mirror's Edge.
Sorry, that was a weird thing to compare it to, but that was my first thought.
See, Tyler knows exactly what I'm going for with this.
Oh, what? The Titanfall?
Yeah, trying to get another Titanfall 2 convert.
Yeah.
Because Titanfall 2 is so much the shit. It's like, hey, if you like running around in this game, play Titanfall 2. Like, I'm fucking great.
I mean, mechanically, the game feels fine. It's not a bad game, but I didn't play and say, holy fuck, this feels insane. It was more like...
So, no joke, I actually kind of said that when I played Titanfall 2.
It was more like I played it and I said, holy fuck, it doesn't feel like PUBG or Fortnite. So...
It feels polished.
I mean, it definitely feels better, but at the same time, it's just that I don't like playing battle royales.
See, that's fine. That's what makes me think, like, man, you should try Titanfall 2 because that game's so fucking.
No, I'll just play Titanfall 3 when it comes out.
Nah, man, because then.
You know what? That's fine. I'll take it.
Just pick.
That's fine.
Hold on. I'm gonna show you, Freeman, why you should play Darkest Dungeon. That's not my vote.
All right, if you can show me something that'll get me like hype for it, I'll probably prioritize.
I need to see this too.
Just pick any of these quotes at the bottom.
All right, hold on. After we're done with the podcast, we'll go through this media queue.
We got to finish. We got to lock it up.
Yeah. All right. So Tyler, you are up next because I don't think I'm doing anything else this week.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, actually, I don't know. What am I doing? Oh, a buddy of mine is coming up from Florida.
Ooh.
So we're hanging out.
He's not Florida man, is he?
Oh.
The famous supervillain who's always on the news.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so we're gonna do stuff.
Damn.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's got a little bit of Florida man in him. Every person from Florida has a little Florida man in them. Sounds pretty gay, but you know it's true. No, I gotta do that. I got some. Oh shit! What am I doing? Now I'm forgetting. Yeah, I'm watching more anime. Oh yeah, I'm trying to actually play The Witcher 3. Like officially. Like that's the game I want to work on. Partially trying to get hype for Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I know I'm like ways out, but I'm like, man, I need this game. I need it.
I think they're
it's
showing
my
off
reason to
E3.
live right now, man.
It's not that
Yes,
far
they
out.
have announced it's going to be at E3. No, it's definitely still far out, but they've announced they're going to show it at E3 at least.
Yeah, man. Reason to live right there. If any of you had a reason to live, this is it.
Dude. I mean, Tyler, if any game's going to get you hyped for Cyberpunk, it's fucking Witcher 3, because holy shit.
It, like, everything about Witcher, like, reminds me, like, YC project. I'm like, man, the more I play this game, the more I know Cyberpunk is going to be a good game.
Hell yeah, exactly.
Like, it's just a quality. So I got to say this for the record, because I caught myself saying this yesterday. I was like, this game is hands down better than Skyrim.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, I don't get, like, yeah, like, it's got mods and everything, and that's what makes it really good, but, like, if you're trying to compare base games like Witcher 3...
It's not even a comparison. There's no question.
Yeah, and then them's big words, but I fully stand by them. It's got, like, the writing. The writing is good. The combat is good. The decision the ambiguous like decision making.
Dude, we were talking on Sunday about how I totally fucked myself in my quest for with the Baron,
someone, right?
and you actually did it the right way.
Yeah, and it's crazy because at the time, like, they do all these decisions, right? Well, it could go literally either way, and you honestly don't know if doing said thing will help or if it will hurt.
So obviously, being a video game, every decision can't have like a massive effect on the end game. But at the same time, Tyler, like I told you, hey, do this way, or you're gonna literally lose a character is going to be fucking dead later in the game if you don't make one decision right now.
Yes.
And you were like, this might be one of my this is like my game's the waifu in the game, and she would have died if I hadn't told you to make a certain decision.
She ain't my waifu in the game.
Oh shit!
Which one is it?
Totally is.
Oh, you're. Oh.
No, I don't care if she's the wrong decision.
See, that's the thing. I can't read the books and be like, oh yeah, Triss anyway.
I'm aware. I'm fully aware that it's the wrong decision and that it's Yennefer.
They're so perfectly bad for each other, though.
Look, there's no.
Triss is just. You know what?
There's no
Triss
wrong choice of waifu.
No, there is. Triss deserves better than Geralt. That's the thing.
Very
that's
true.
the long.
Also
that's
true.
the long and short of it. Yennefer and Geralt are fucking made for each other, whereas Triss deserves someone so much better than Geralt.
Yeah, he's
it's fucking ridiculous.
A lot better quality of really anything at that point, even me. But beside that, yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'm actually really excited to see which ending you get because I forget what factors into the ending of Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are 3 endings, and I got, I think, the middle one.
Man.
Well, actually, there's like personal good, but world bad, world good, personal bad, and then bad.
See,
and I got the world good, personal bad.
That's
I was curious what Triss looked like, so I just Googled Witcher Triss, and the first image is the image from some dude's YouTube video called Triss Complete Romance Guide.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
I sent Tim some spicy stuff before the.
Yeah, Tyler sent me some spicy stuff. Yeah, you make multiple. Actually, the funniest thing in Witcher 3, Friedman, is Geralt basically has two main romance interests, Triss and Yennefer, and if you play the video game way, where you try to ride both lines, you actually end up fucked and get neither. It's great.
That's awesome.
It's such a way to say "fuck you, gamer," trying to game the system.
That's pretty great.
Anyway, what else, Tyler? We got to wrap this shit up.
That's it. But you got your soapbox.
I know.
You went on for so long.
I know. No, I wandered us off on Witcher. That's my bad.
Yeah, I got really nothing else aside from trying to play games and hanging with friends.
Actually, speaking of which, Tyler, we got to talk about something after the podcast.
There's a ton of things we got to do.
Yeah, but we might be talking about doing something tomorrow.
Oh, gotcha.
But anyway, we're going to end the podcast here. Thank you all so much for listening. My name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
I'm just Tyler.
And this has been the TNT Podcast, episode 69. We will catch you guys next week.